North Macedonia's long-held dream of joining the European Union is fading. For years, the country has worked tirelessly to meet the EU's stringent requirements, hoping to secure a future within the European community. The citizens of North Macedonia have watched as neighboring countries have made strides towards integration, fueling their own aspirations for a better, more prosperous future. A new roadblock has emerged, threatening to derail the country's accession process. This latest hurdle is not just a minor setback but a significant challenge that could potentially halt progress altogether. The political landscape in North Macedonia is fraught with tension as leaders scramble to find a solution. Bulgaria, a member of the EU since 2007, has become a formidable obstacle. The dispute between the two nations centers around historical and cultural issues, with Bulgaria demanding concessions that North Macedonia finds difficult to accept. This standoff has created a diplomatic impasse with neither side willing to back down. The dispute has reached a boiling point, leaving North Macedonia stranded in a political no-man's land. The streets of Skopje have become a battleground for frustrated citizens who feel their future is being held hostage by political wrangling. Protests have erupted, with people demanding that their leaders find a way to break the deadlock. Frustration simmers in Skopje as the country grapples with the realization that its European aspirations may once again be slipping away. In cafes and public squares, the conversation is dominated by the latest developments, with many expressing a sense of betrayal and hopelessness. The dream of joining the EU, once a beacon of hope, now seems more distant than ever. The EU's decision to decouple North Macedonia's accession process from Albania's has added insult to injury. This move has been perceived as a clear signal that North Macedonia's path to EU membership is fraught with more obstacles than anticipated. The separation of the two countries' accession processes has left many in North Macedonia feeling isolated and abandoned. While Albania moves forward, North Macedonia remains tethered to Bulgaria's demands. The progress of their neighbor only serves to highlight the stagnation and frustration felt within North Macedonia. The contrast is stark, and the sense of injustice is palpable among the citizens. This move has been met with outrage in Skopje, with many seeing it as a betrayal of the promises made by Brussels. The streets are filled with pro-EU protesters, their banners and chants echoing a deep-seated desire for integration and a better future. The sentiment is clear. The people of North Macedonia feel let down by the very institution they aspire to join. The dream of a united Europe, it seems, is quickly turning into a nightmare for North Macedonia. The hope that once fueled their efforts is now overshadowed by uncertainty and disillusionment. As the country stands at this critical juncture, the path forward remains unclear, and the dream of EU membership hangs precariously in the balance. Frustration is palpable in the corridors of power in Skopje. The air is thick with tension as political leaders navigate the complex and often frustrating landscape of international diplomacy. The stakes are high, and the patience of the North Macedonian government is wearing thin. Prime Minister Hristijan Mikoski has emerged as a vocal critic of the EU's handling of the situation. His speeches are filled with a sense of urgency and a call for action. He believes that the EU has not lived up to its promises and that North Macedonia deserves better. He accuses Brussels of hypocrisy and double standards. Mikoski's frustration is not just with the slow pace of negotiations, but also with what he perceives as a lack of respect and fairness from the EU. He feels that North Macedonia is being held to a different standard than other countries. Mikoski argues that North Macedonia has fulfilled its part of the bargain, implementing painful reforms and making significant concessions. These reforms have not been easy, and they have come at a great cost to the people of North Macedonia, yet the promised rewards from the EU have not materialized. President Gordana Siljanovska-Davkova echoes the Prime Minister's sentiments. She too is disillusioned with the EU's approach, and has been vocal in her criticism. Her speeches resonate with the frustration felt by many in North Macedonia. In a scathing critique, she likens North Macedonia's EU journey to Samuel Beckett's play, Waiting for Godot. The comparison is apt, as the country seems to be in a perpetual state of waiting with no clear end in sight. The sense of stagnation is palpable. The message is clear. North Macedonia is tired of waiting for a breakthrough that never seems to come. The people are growing increasingly impatient, and the government's frustration is mirrored by the public. Protests and demonstrations have become more frequent as citizens demand answers and action. The country's leaders are now questioning whether the EU is genuinely committed to welcoming North Macedonia into its fold. they are beginning to explore other options and alliances, as the dream of EU membership starts to feel more like a distant mirage. The future is uncertain, and the path forward is fraught with challenges. But one thing is clear: North Macedonia will not wait forever. At the heart of the impasse lies a complex web of historical grievances and identity politics. Bulgaria demands that North Macedonia acknowledge the existence of a Bulgarian minority within its borders. This demand extends to amending the country's constitution, a move that has sparked fierce debate in North Macedonia. The Bulgarian government, however, insists that these demands are non-negotiable. They argue that recognizing the historical and cultural ties between the two nations is essential for reconciliation. The situation has become a high-stakes game of diplomatic brinkmanship, with neither side willing to back down. For North Macedonia, the Bulgarian impasse is a painful reminder of past struggles. The country's path to EU membership has been littered with obstacles. For years, Greece blocked North Macedonia's progress over a dispute regarding the country's name. The 2018 Prespa Agreement, which saw the country change its name from the Republic of Macedonia to North Macedonia, was hailed as a historic breakthrough. However, the current impasse with Bulgaria demonstrates that the ghosts of the past continue to haunt North Macedonia's European aspirations. Section 5. Opposition cries foul, a historic opportunity squandered. Within North Macedonia, the government's handling of the situation has drawn sharp criticism from the opposition. The Social Democrats, the main opposition party, accuse the government of jeopardizing the country's future. They argue that a more conciliatory approach towards Bulgaria could have yielded better results. The opposition's frustration is palpable. They believe that the government's intransigence has squandered a historic opportunity to secure North Macedonia's place in the European family. The blame game has intensified the political polarization in the country, further complicating an already delicate situation. Section 6. A long and winding road, decades of striving for Europe. North Macedonia's pursuit of EU membership has been a long and arduous journey. The path has been fraught with numerous challenges and obstacles, yet the nation's resolve has remained steadfast. Since gaining independence from Yugoslavia in 1991, the country has implemented significant reforms to align itself with EU standards. These reforms have touched every aspect of society, from economic policies to social norms, aiming to create a more prosperous and democratic nation. From strengthening the rule of law to tackling corruption, North Macedonia has made considerable strides. The government has introduced new legislation, improved judicial processes, and taken a firm stance against corrupt practices. North Macedonia has consistently demonstrated its commitment to European values. The citizens have shown their support through numerous public demonstrations, advocating for transparency, justice, and adherence to democratic principles. The latest setback, however, has cast a long shadow over these achievements. Despite the progress made, the road to EU membership remains uncertain. Political instability and external pressures have created a complex and often frustrating scenario for the nation. The EU's perceived reluctance to embrace North Macedonia has left many feeling disillusioned and betrayed. The citizens, who have long aspired to be part of the European family, now face a period of reflection and uncertainty. The question now is whether the country can muster the strength to continue its European journey in the face of such adversity. The youth in particular remain a beacon of hope, their determination and optimism driving the nation forward. As North Macedonia stands at this crossroads, the resilience and unity of its people will be crucial in shaping its future. Section 7. An uncertain future. Can the EU dream survive? As the impasse with Bulgaria drags on, the future of North Macedonia's EU aspirations hangs in the balance. The government's refusal to budge on the issue of identity has created a deadlock. The EU, meanwhile, appears hesitant to intervene decisively, fearing a backlash from Bulgaria. This uncertainty is taking its toll on North Macedonia. The country's economy is struggling and public trust in institutions is waning. The EU dream, once a beacon of hope, now feels like a distant mirage. The clock is ticking, and the window of opportunity for North Macedonia is closing fast. Section 8. The bigger picture. EU credibility under the microscope. The situation in North Macedonia has broader implications for the EU's enlargement policy. The bloc's commitment to expanding its reach into the Western Balkans is being tested. The EU's credibility as a reliable partner is at stake. If the EU is unable or unwilling to resolve the impasse with North Macedonia, it risks sending a dangerous message to other hopeful candidates in the region. The Western Balkans, with its history of conflict and instability, remains vulnerable to external influence. The EU's failure to engage constructively with North Macedonia could have far-reaching consequences for peace and stability in the region.